everyone, this is Pratibha Ramkonda. So today we are going to discuss Unit 4, that is Semiconductor Devices. So the contents here we are going to learn is about your UJT, that is Uni-Junction Transistor, its characteristics and its application. SCR, that is Silicon Control Rectifier, its characteristics and application. The same way diac, triac, its characteristics and applications. At the same time we are going to read about different kinds of diodes. So there are like gun diode, those will be discussed. So first we will see uni-junction transistor. Now uni-junction transistor is a three terminal switching device, right? So it is also three terminal like your BJT, it has three terminals, but the three terminals over here are IB1, IB2, that is base 1 and base 2, sorry, B1 and B2, that is base 1 and B2, and there is an emitter terminal, and this has only one PN junction. Because it has only one PN junction, we are going to call this as uni-junction transistor. So now when we are going to see the working, here you can just see the construction. It consists of a diode. There are two resistors, right? And you can see this is a symbolic view of uni-junction where this is your emitter, these are your two bases B1 and B2. So your emitter base will be forward bias where your B1 and B2 will be reverse bias. So now your diode will conduct only when you apply your voltage, that is your emitter voltage, which is greater than your VBB plus VB, okay, and that VBB plus VBB is equal to what? It is known as VP voltage, that is peak point voltage. So your diode will conduct only when your VE, that is your emitter voltage, will be equal to your VP, that is your peak point voltage. So this will result in your peak current, that is IP. Now due to the flow of this current through your resistance RB1, your resistance will decrease. Now what happens is when your RB1 decreases, the emitter potential drop will increase your emitter current. Because of this, your device exhibits negative resistance. When your emitter voltage decreases, your emitter current also decreases. In short, you can say that this particular UJT will act like a switching device. How it can act like a switching device? It can be turned on by applying a positive pulse, and it can be turned off by applying a negative pulse. Fine. So next is VI characteristics of UJT. You can just see here there are three regions over here, right? One is cutoff region, one more is negative resistance region, and one more is saturation region. So in cutoff region, what happens? Your emitter voltage is increased from 0, right? Or it is increased by your 0, but there is a small leakage current which flows through device, but still you can say that this device is off because it is in the cutoff region. Okay, next is negative saturation region, where your emitter voltage is increased further till it reaches its peak point. Your emitter current also increases, but when your emitter voltage is beyond this peak point, what happens? Your emitter current will begin to decrease, where it will reach until it reaches its value point. Now the region between this peak point and this value point is called as negative resistance region. Why it is called? Because the emitter voltage will decrease as the emitter current increases, right? Whenever your emitter voltage decreases, your emitter current increases. Next is the saturation region. Now the region which is beyond this value point is called saturation region, where your emitter voltage almost remains constant with the increase in your emitter current. Fine. Now the applications of your UJT, they can be used in a relaxation oscillator to generate your sawtooth waves. It is used as a triggering device for your SCR and triac. They can be also used in timing circuits, voltage sensing circuits, and phase control circuits. The next one is SCR. Now SCR stands for Silicon Control Rectifier. So when I am defining this SCR, SCR is also known as thyristor. So it is a 4-layer. You can see these are the 4 layers semiconductor of P and PN structure with 3 PN junctions. The junctions are J1, J2 and J3, and it has 3 terminals. One is anode, one is cathode and one more is gate. So this is a symbolic view. You can just see this is your anode, cathode, and this is the gate which is used for triggering, and these are your junctions J1, J2, J3. Now how this operation is being carried out, you can just see that when your anode is made positive with respect to cathode, your junction J1 and J3 will be forward biased and your junction J2 will be reverse biased. So with anode to cathode voltage, that is VAK being small, what happens, a small leakage current will flow through this device. Okay, then your SCR will be said to be in forward blocking state. Now if your VAK is further increased to a large, that time your J2 will be breakdown. Okay, breakdown, why it occurs? It occurs due to your avalanche effect, because of what, a large current will flow through the device. Now the voltage which occurs at this phenomena, it is known as what, breakdown voltage, which is given by VBO. Now since your other two junctions like J1 and J2 are already forward biased, because of that what happens, more free movement of carriers will take across your resulting which will result in your large forward anode current. So once if your SCR is switched on, your voltage drop will be very small. Say you can it be around 1 to 1.5 volt, right? Next we will see the characteristics. Now when I am explaining the VI characteristics, you can just see what happens over here is, whenever you are applying a applied voltage, right? Say if you are applying the applied voltage from 0 to 10 volts, what happens, your how your voltage increases, your current also similarly gradually goes on increasing. Now this VBO is your breakdown over forward break over voltage. Now what happens after the 10, with the help of your gate voltage, if you start increasing your gate voltage, there will be a sudden drop in your current, right? So your after the sudden drop, what happens, when your voltage remains constant, okay, your current will go on increasing. Okay, this is all thing what happens in your forward, and in reverse it will act like a normal PN junction diode, that is it will increase slowly, that will be reverse saturation current, right? Now this is how your VI characteristics of SCR is been explained. Coming to the applications, they are used in your regulated power supply. They can be also used in the motor control speed circuits, in inverter circuits, in phase control circuits, in battery chargers and fan regulators, in heat control circuits. The next one is diac. Now diac is a two terminal 5-layer semiconductor which is a bidirectional switching device, means it can conduct in both the directions, whereas your SCR, it was conducting only when it is forward bias. So when it was reverse bias, it was not conducting any you can just see here, only when your SCR was forward bias there was a conduction of the current, but in reverse bias there was no conduction in the current, it was acting like a diode. But whereas when we are speaking about diac, what happens, diac is so it is a device which will conduct in both the directions. So this is the 5 layers and this is a symbolic view. Now what happens, the working we will see. Now when you make your T1 positive with respect to your T2, the voltage across the device will be less than your breakover voltage, because of which a very small current flows, right, through the device. Now during this period what happens, we call that period as blocking mode. But once your voltage will increase the voltage across your diac exceeds the breakover voltage, that time your diac will turn on and it will begin to conduct. Now once it starts conducting, what happens is the current through your this diac will become large. Okay, but that large current we don't want, it has to be limited. How it is limited? By connecting your resistance RL. Okay, now at the same time what happens, your voltage across the diode will decrease when it is in the conduction mode. So this will be well explained with the help of your VI characteristic. So you can just see in the VI characteristics, okay, what happens is your this as and when you are increasing your voltage, your current also is increasing. But after your VBO, okay, after your VBO, what is happening, your current is increasing but your voltage is going on decreasing, right? That is what I explained in the previous slide. Coming to the applications of the diac, you can just see diac are used to trigger the triac. They can be also used in the heat and light controlled circuits, they can be used in motor speed control, in temperature control circuits. So you can also use them in your air conditioning, clocking and other domestic applications. Fine. Next is triac. Now a triac is a 3-terminal bidirectional switching thyristor device which can conduct both the directions when it is triggered into the conduction state. So here this is a bidirectional switching thyristor device itself. So even this can conduct your in your both the directions, but it is controlled by your trigger, right? Now how this happens, what happens? Okay, now the whenever your gate terminal is near your MT1, right? So MT1 is responsible for obtaining your characteristics of the triac, right? Now how this operation or the thing carries over here is your triac will be operated in 4 different modes depending upon the voltage polarity, like of your MT1 with respect to MT2, and also based on the gate current polarity, right? Now what happens in this characteristics we will discuss. Okay, so you can just see here in the VI characteristics what triac is a bidirectional switching device. So whenever your gate current is increased, your breakover voltage will decrease. Now you can just see here when you compare your diac and triac, in diac we were having only one gate, right, which was used, but here we are having two gates, right, which will be controlled by two. So whenever you are using two gates differently, you are getting two breakover voltages, right? So whichever breakover voltages will be greater. Now if this is VB1 and this is VBO, that is IG1 and IG2, when your IG2 is greater than your IG1, that time this will increase. After this will be IG2 will be considered and your current will be go on increasing, but your voltage will be going on decreasing. So the selection will be done between your two gates. So this is how your triac, and the applications of your triac are they can be used in your dimmer and illumination circuit control, in temperature control, phase control, liquid level control, power switches and motor speed regulator. Next is varactor divide. Now this varactor divide is a junction diode which will act like a variable capacitor whenever you have a changing reverse bias. Fine, you can just see varactor diode looks like a similar diode, but you just can see the another terminal is bit what I can say the curved form. Fine. Now for the normal operation, your varactor divide should be always reverse bias. Now when reverse voltage across your varactor diode is increased, your width of the depletion layer will increase. Because of that, what happens, the total junction through this capacitor, whatever is been connected, that will decrease. On the other hand, if the reverse voltage across your diode is decreased, your depletion layer also decrease, and because of that your total junction capacitance will increase. Okay, and that can be shown through your VI characteristics that has been shown over here, right? Now you can see in this that whenever your CT will be changing when your VR is changing, right? So it is also known as what, voltage controlled capacitor. Where it can be used is they are used in your automatic frequency control circuits, in frequency modulation circuits, in parametric amplifier, and in radio and TV receivers. The next one is tunnel diode. Now this tunnel diode is a PN junction diode which will exhibits negative resistance between the two values of your forward voltage. Now this is a symbolic view, and now tunnel diode, what happens is basically it is a PN junction with heavy doping of p-type and n-type semiconductor materials. So because of this heavy doping, they will result in more number of majority carriers. Now complete operation of your tunnel, it will depend upon the tunneling effect. So we call it as what, tunnel diode. Now the movement of these valence electrons from your valence band to conduction band will occur with no applied forward voltage or little forward voltage. So we call it as tunneling. Fine. Now whenever forward voltage is increased, your diode current will increase due to tunneling effect, and if your tunneling effect is reduced, your current will start to decrease as your forward voltage across your diode increased. Now it is said to be increase in your negative resistance region. As your voltage is again increased, your tunneling effect will be less, okay, until it reaches your what value point. Now after that, your tunnel diode will behave like a ordinary diode, where what happens, your if your current increases, your voltage also goes on increasing. So this is how your tunnel diode is being explained. So applications of tunnel diode can be, they are used in ultra high speed switching device. They can be used as a logic memory storage devices. They are used in high frequency microwave oscillators. They can be also, because they have a negative resistance features, they are used as a relaxation oscillator, and they are used in your pulse generator. The next one is gun diode, which is also known as what, transferred electron device. Now these are what, these are the bulk semiconductors which are having no junction gates. So like examples can be gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, etc. Now what happens in this is, whenever a small DC voltage is applied across your thin slice of gallium arsenide, negative resistance will result under certain conditions. Means this consists that voltage gradient across this slice will be connected by your tuned circuit. Now the oscillation which are occurring at your microwave frequencies, your gun diodes will be growing a epitaxial layer from your gallium arsenide. Now the substrate will be heavily doped with a thin active layer, and that is less heavily doped. Because of that, whenever your gold alloy comes in contact with a good ohmic contact, your heat will transfer, right? So this is what the gun diode works. They can, applications of your gun diode can be, they are used as a low and medium power oscillators in your microwave receivers and instruments. They are used as a power output oscillators in your CW, Doppler radar transmitter. They are used as a power oscillator in your burglar alarm. They can be used as also output oscillators in your aircraft rate of climb indicators. Next is pin diode. Now pin diode consists of three semiconductors, namely P, N and intrinsic layer of your pure silicon. You can just see the diagram. There is N type. So you can say that it is an undoped semiconductor which is sandwiched between two heavily doped P and N type semiconductors. So it has a switching device which is frequencies up to many gigahertz, and it can be also used as a modulator for your very high frequency signals. Now what happens in this, your pin diode is, okay, in your pin diode, the middle section will offer high resistance, that is your the middle intrinsic layer which is present, that will offer high resistance for the flow of the electric current because it is not doped. Now PN diode, whenever it is forward bias, it will offer high resistance because of larger depletion region. When your diode is forward bias, the depletion layer decrease and the resistance offered by the diode also decreases, but your forward voltage increases. So it will act like a variable resistance under forward bias. But when your pin diode is reverse bias, your depletion layer will increase, and middle one layer which is present will be free from your charge carriers. So it will act like a constant capacitor. Okay, next is we have some other diodes like step recovery diode, Schottky, impant diode and triplet. So these kind of questions will be asked only for 5 marks, wherein you have to write the definition and you have to remember the working of these diodes and its applications, right? So I'm just going to explain you in brief. You can refer my notes which I have given in the class. So but you have to study the detailed definition, working and applications of all these. First one is step recovery, which is a special type of diode where your doping is done differently when you compare it with your ordinary. How it is done is, the density of the carrier decreases near your junction. So what happens over in this is, okay, so we call they are used in your frequency multiplier circuits. They can be also used in your pulse and digital circuits. Next is Schottky diode. Now this is a terminal which is having unipolar metal semiconductor junction diode. Sometimes it is also called as hot carrier diode or Schottky diode. Okay, Next is they are now these Scotty diodes are used in your switching device in your computer. It can be also used as clipping and clapping circuits. They are used in mixers and detectors, in analog to digital converters, in rectifiers. Impact diode, that is impact ionization avalanche transist time. Now what is this? Now the negative resistance is your property of a device which will cause the current to be 180-degree out of phase with the voltage. So that kind of property which is exhibited is given by, or it is done by, your impact diode. So they are used in your long distance communication and in radars. Next is TRAPAD. TRAPAD stands for trapped plasma avalanche triggered transist. Now they are derived from this tripad, are derived from your impact, so they are closely related to each other. So they are used in your advantage of this tripad is they can have a high frequency microwave generator, so that can be from several megahertz to several gigahertz. So they are used in your airborne and marine radars. So for these other diodes you have to remember the um, definition and its operation, okay, and its application. Make sure you read all those things from the notes given. Thank you.